I think I got something. Okay. We'll see. Welcome to A Drink with James. Hello, welcome to episode 4. Welcome to episode 6. Drink with James, episode 31.
Drink with James, episode 27.
Drink with James, episode 14. Well, welcome to A Drink with James, episode 9. As you can tell, they let me out of the conference room. Drink with James, episode 24, live. A new series where you guys send in questions, I drink, and try and answer those questions. JC from Damsel and Dior is going to join us today, answer all the questions that I can't answer or don't want to answer. But I do think I'm gonna harp on this over and over again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Consistency is huge. A lot of times a brand will reach out and they'll say, hey, I have this opportunity for you. What's your rate? Okay? Now, if they've come to you and they've asked this, they are trying to buy something from you, right? And you should not give up your price at that point. You should always go back to them and say, is there a budget for this project? Short answer is yes. The long answer is depends on what you want, in my experience. What the first email to somebody that doesn't know you is supposed to do is get them to answer that email. So, good God. I'm sure you guys use Instagram every once in a while. I'm sure you've opened it. You know, most of you treat me like I'm your little answer monkey. You just throw shit at me and I just have to give you answers. Rebecca took the time to compliment me not once, but twice. So everyone else feel free to start and end your questions with compliments. Slow it down for a second. I feel the struggle, and I know it's real. You want to do a good job for the people who are advertising with you. Whether they're paying you or whether they're not paying you, doesn't matter. You really want to do a good job for the brand. I think some of the best influencers that I know that we work with, it's as simple as that. Just like thinking about the brand and being like, I want to do a really, really good job for this brand. I want them to be happy with the post, yes, but I also want it to do well. And I think it's part of that is understanding what is success for that brand. So I encourage you to ask them that question. What's success? It's a simple question, but I don't think enough people ask. It's Ira Glass and This American Life, they do a live.
It's a great
probably
podcast.
Pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
Drink with James live and This American Life.
I think it's the same audience and the same amount of people definitely watching, for sure.
I actually do a decent Ira Glass impersonation, I feel like. You want me to do it now? As you can see, I have a special guest. I have Heidi Nazardin with me. I just crushed that last name. We have esteemed guest, blogger, model / Parisian, Christina, who for years was in my phone as Christina Carbonara. That's a confession. You seem like a pasta lover.
I actually love pasta.
We are here at the Tommy Hilfiger men's show. During Men's Fashion Week, Tommy was nice enough to put me into one of their beautiful suits. So maybe, Tim, you can get one of those wardrobe provided by Tommy Hilfiger thing down here. Okay, ready?
Very chic, very cool.
This American Life, I'm Ira Glass. On today's episode, we talk to Rachel, who goes to the ends of the earth to find the best beauty tips. I don't know what else.
That was great.
Yeah. Really, my goal in this whole thing is to just get someone to sponsor my wardrobe because I'm having to wear a new suit every single week. I realized that I've been sitting here now for 6 weeks giving y'all advice on social and your businesses and Instagram and all this stuff, but I really should be giving you advice on everything in your life. Remember where your loyalties lie, and don't forget the people that were there for you in the beginning. So there's a saying in sales that there's no no's in sales, only yeses and soft yeses. And we're in Sag Harbor in the heart of the Hamptons in what I think, and you agree, is the rosé capital of the world. Yeah. Well, outside of Provence, maybe.
I mean, we just call it water here.
Secondly, I can't remember what secondly was. So let's skip number 2 and go to number 3.
4 years ago, life was a lot different. Things were a lot different in the market. Influencers weren't really a thing. And
We called them bloggers.
yeah, they were bloggers. You had handles. It wasn't just your name.
Right.
You had a handle.
Right.
You were fashion something
Yes.
or style something.
Nobody had names.
Nobody had names.
I know this is the easiest thing to say, but I was just like, I'm just gonna keep being me. Because I don't really know how to be anybody else. in the end, like I want to be me, and also I was thinking like, what would I want to look at if I was on the other end?
Right.
So that's how I always think about everything, like because I want to stay relatable, because I think I am, and then because I want people to, you know, obviously like me. I'm not trying to. I don't care if they do, but in the same terms, I do.
If you need money to do the project, and they don't have money, then you shouldn't do it. If the opportunity is really cool and they don't have money, and you think down the line they may have money, or you don't care just because the opportunity is great, then you should do it. And I'm a couple whiskeys in, so I'm not sure if I just said the same thing.
I think at the beginning, it's all about forming relationships. So that's the most important, because at the beginning of your career, in any career, it's like you need to have the best relationships that you can with people.
Being interesting.
Right?
It's really important. And I think people get really caught up in like looking cute. It's actually way more appealing for brands to be an interesting person and to be well-rounded and to do interesting things, not just take selfies.
We have Laurel Pantene, like the shampoo, editorial director at Covetor, formerly known as The Covetor, that dropped the "the," which I think every business at some point you get successful enough where you just start losing parts of your name. Someone said that Rich was very hot, which I personally agree with, but like a little bummed out that nobody ever said that I'm handsome. You're sending a cold email to a brand and you've never spoken to them before. The email that I like to send, the subject basically says trying to connect. And then the email copy can just be one paragraph. Hey, my name is blank, I run this blog, it reaches X amount of people. I love blank company that you're reaching out to, and I would love to be connected with the person who handles influencer marketing at that company. I took a stab in the dark and guessed that was you. If so, I'd love to chat. If not, could you please connect me with the person who handles influencer marketing? Our AC is broken. We're sweating it out for you guys. I'm still drinking whiskey. And if you don't think that's a feat, I fucking dare any of you to walk outside in 88-degree weather and drink a damn whiskey at 4 in the afternoon. You're a couple days away from Fashion Week. You know, it wasn't so long ago that it was my first Fashion Week.
I've done this almost once a year. I ask my readers. I think a lot of influencers are afraid to ask and be vulnerable.
How did you ask?
I posted on my Instagram a photo and I was like, hey guys, like, gonna be honest here, what the F is going on? Like, what aren't you liking? What do you like? What do you want to see? And that's what they want to see. They want to see mirror selfies, what I'm wearing on a like pretty regular basis, daily basis. They don't want to see this like perfect photo that's in the, you know, in the middle of the street that's beautiful. They want to see something real.
Right.
And they want to feel connected to like what I'm actually doing in my life.
I also think that brands aren't so caught up on followers anymore. I think that if you have a platform that is beautifully curated and you have great content, the brand's going to respond to that. And honestly, I think influencers with way less than 50,000 followers are being looked at.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's really about if the content and the person is on brand.
I know a few bloggers that have less than 50,000 that are getting paid well because their images and their brand is so strong. Like you go to her feed, in 5 seconds you know what she's all about, and that's more important than having 300,000 followers.
Getting mail is fucking awesome. As much as I like getting drunk at 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, is today Thursday? How do you convince brands to work with you if you have a strong blog following, but a shitty social following? Excuse me. Good question. Listen, you have to highlight what you're good at, you know? Like, let's theoretical here, right? I'm going into a bar, I want to talk to a nice young lady who I find attractive and interesting. I'm not going to go up to her and say, hey, my name's James, I live in a small tenement apartment in the Lower East Side. I am kind of skinny and have a weird body. Often I'm an obsessive and you won't see much of me because I ride my bike, 20 hours a week, so I hate brunch, I actually loathe it, don't have a TV, and will never watch television with you. I don't go into that situation that way. You highlight the good things about you, not the bad things. So I might say like, I have great hair, I wear a suit every day, I'm well-read. And you highlight the good, not the bad. So the same goes if you have good blog traffic, then spin that story. My hair, which I just got cut, and it looks great, thank you. We're filming the next one in the Hamptons, so I may not be wearing any clothes. I think we've touched on this before, but it's so easy to look at everybody else and get frustrated. When you see other people who maybe started at the same time as you that are growing faster than you, I think it's important to understand that like just everyone is on their own path. And it could be frustrating to you that, you know, X person is growing quite quickly, but this, if you want to make this your job and you want to make it your career, which if you're watching these videos, I'm assuming that's what you want, then you're in this for the long game. I am reporting live from the end of the Republic, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, my little brother is hosting an event here. He's here from Los Angeles. Dylan Nord, if you don't follow him, he is more handsome than I, and just a single. So, yeah, more good things about me. I'm a fun drunk. I think you guys all would agree with that, right? Like, step back and be like, why would somebody click like on a photo, right? If I follow you and I'm paying attention to my feed, I get value out of your content, whether I hit like or comment or I don't, right? I'm getting the same amount of value. So why would I double tap the photo, right? Like, I mean, I would encourage you to think about it yourself. Why do you like people's photos? Brands are coming to you to help tell their story on a specific platform to a specific group of people, right? So a lot of times what that means is you could have a much larger following than that brand, right? That's the reason they're working with you. If they had a huge social following, they wouldn't need you as much. And we're gonna have a Snapdragon apple, which was an apple that was released 2 years ago, developed by Cornell University, is the greatest apple on God's earth. The brain, it really is a muscle. Nord, where's Nord? I just got a new suit as well, and doesn't it look awesome? I think it does. Did I already say something about suits? I've got 30 of them, so I could have a full month where you wouldn't see me in the same outfit. If you've asked for a budget and they haven't even bothered responding, they weren't super interested in working with you anyway. I love my mother very much. We have a great relationship. I think that's pretty appealing. I have a car in the city, you know? I could take you places. First of all, Tim, will you put a disclaimer down here that says like, this is not legal advice?
If you want brands to take you seriously, you need to take yourself seriously.
One, we're really excited to have Rachel Martino here. She's incredible, and we're already a little drunker than we usually are to do these things, so this should be fun. Two, I feel like the lighting isn't great for me right now. I mean, you look awesome, but I feel like I probably have like some shadows over my eye socket, so I apologize for that. Maybe Tim can clean it up in post. But is there no post in film?
You look great, actually.
Thank you, I know. I was actually fishing for a compliment. If you can't make a sponsored post look as good or better than your normal posts that aren't sponsored, then you shouldn't be doing that post. I encourage all of you to do stupid things in your life, because those are generally the ones that you remember. You don't have to be prepared to do something, you just have to be dumb enough to try, generally. It is fun to play with these new things. I think it is important for y'all to be playing with these new things, but it is also important to maybe put more than like 10 seconds of thought into it. You know, when I was shooting more, I used to wake up in the morning and say, I'm gonna take 3 great photos today. That was my goal every single day. And I walked around the city, sometimes till 2 in the morning, until I got those photos, if I didn't get them during the day. You might notice that I'm in a sweater. That's true. I'm hungover, but I'm still drinking, which should prove my dedication to this show.
I think that there's like an amount of persistence that needs to happen when you're trying to break into new fields, and maybe it doesn't get 1,000 likes the first time, but once people sort of get more used to it and start to expect it and you kind of perfect the way that you present it, then, you know, hopefully it will perform. What's really gonna happen if you post something that doesn't do as well? Like, you're not gonna get, half of your audience isn't gonna leave.
Right.
I think that the thing with the internet is like, it's just a space for weird stuff. Like, there's no harm in trying things for the most part, unless you're spending thousands of dollars on something. Like, if you're interested in it, why not just do it?
Yeah. I am the CEO of a fastly growing startup that, you know, people like Tim choose to work for. Do photos with longer captions perform better? I think if you can write well, you should be doing more of that on your Instagram captions. I used to be a really good photographer. I could take your photo, you know? I told you I was excited because advertising is so shitty and what you guys do is so awesome. Like, I'm also really excited about 2017 because the things brands are looking for are changing every day and they're changing really quickly. It used to just be reach. They want big people, they want big followings, they want big numbers, they want to work with top influencers, and that's all they care about. That is 100% changing every day. You know, I had braces when I was young. Teeth are pretty straight. I had an awesome year, and doing this show was one of the highlights for me, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for your emails and your tweets. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. I am gonna go do that now. Cheers. So, I don't know what y'all are doing, but cheers. Here. Cheers. Have a good weekend. Cheers. Thank you so much for being here. Drink with James, episode 24, live. Next year will probably be at, I think we'll do a Yankee Stadium. I hope I kept you entertained and you learned something. Cheers.